It's like, ooh, now I know what Rian was talking about. Rian's was on to something. Okay, Daenerys, been reborn through fire, Queen of Dragons. Hey guys, it's your girl Aisha, aka GeekXX Chic, and we are back with another reaction to The Witcher Season 3. We're now into Episode 7, which is called Out of the Fire and Into the Frying Pan. So on the last episode, it was pretty crazy. We saw the rest of the fallout that happened from the Conclave. We see that the Redenians had their plan all along to capture some of these mages and basically try to get them to either swear allegiance to Redenia and their plan or possibly face dire consequences. And all the while, we also had the elves showing up with the Scoia'tael because they're now working with Nilfgaard to try to attack and, of course, take back our Aretuza, and because they also heard that Ciri was there. So there was multiple reasons for them to come. And we see that that turned into an all-out battle, like a magic battle. Soldiers were fighting, elves against humans. It was a big mess. And we see that Ciri and Geralt were not exactly in the fray. They were actually, well, Geralt had to get out so he could go find Ciri. But we see that Yennefer, Geralt, and Ciri, they were in a place where, or a position where they could leave. But then Rience showed up. But thankfully now Rience is out of the picture because of the tag team of Yennefer and Geralt. But Yennefer just couldn't leave because she saw that in light of how badly the battle was going, because unfortunately the mages were losing because the Scoia'tael were armed with weapons that pierced through their magic. She saw that Tissaia called down on, I can't remember what was the exact term, but it was some holy lightning anyways, but it was like a last resort. And she knew that if Tissaia was calling on this, that Tissaia was basically ready to die because it drained whoever used it. And we saw that it took a lot out of Tissaia to use it. I mean, it did take out some of the forces, but we see that Francesca still survived, as did Fringilla. But Francesca did lose her husband in very early in the battle. So she is now a woman who has literally nothing else to lose. So yeah, the stakes are getting higher and crazier. And we see that Yennefer did go back to rescue Tissaia, take her out of there, to get her to stop using this magic because she was really prepared to keep using it until she expired. So that's basically what happened there. Geralt and Ciri started to run, but then we see that that annoying man Vilgefortz ended up showing up and stopping them because he wants Ciri, and him and Geralt ended up having a battle and it did not go well. Geralt got sunned pretty badly. And he didn't kill him. Vilgefortz said that the reason he left him alive is because he wants Geralt to be an example for everyone else about the power that he has and the power that he wields, and to basically to stay away from him. So Geralt wasn't able to go after Ciri, who ran over to the tower. And when she went there, surprise, surprise, there was another monolith there, and it was speaking to her. And we see that Vilgefortz was trying to stop her from, I guess, communing with it, but she clearly didn't hear him. Looks like she communed with this monolith, and there was a huge blast, sent him flying, hopefully for the worse. And that's basically how we ended the episode. So much going on. Ready to jump in, but just before I do, if this is your first time to my channel, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. I do a lot of reactions here to all sorts of good stuff. And if you'd like to support me and be notified when I do more episodes, please go ahead, hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. And if you like this video, I'd appreciate it if you showed some love with that like button and some comments below. All right, that out of the way, let's get into the episode right about now. Oh, this place looks toasty. Definitely warmer than where they were. Oh God. Oh no. Did Ciri get sucked into another dimension again? Well, let's hope the Wild Hunt ain't here. Is she gonna come back with a unicorn? Because that would be baller. Ah, the ruins of Aretuza. I mean, I want to feel bad, but, you know, as I've said before, considering that the humans stole it from the elves in the first place, it's kind of theirs to destroy. There's only so much you can oppress a group before it's going to get a pushback, and it's usually going to be pretty bad. Oh, you girl. He's on the beach, trying not to drown. If you could help him, that'd be great. Oh, I forgot. Never mind. Triss found him.
What happened here?
What didn't happen, really?
Come with me then.
Right. Abandon my friends? I think not.
Just let me be there with you.
They're really trying to pull star-crossed lovers here. I'm just not feeling it. Maybe star-crossed lusters.
Witch!
They're loving terms for each other.
You'll need a bed. Find fresh water, get some cloths.
Oh, his wheezy breath.
Your friend the sorceress left this for you. She said to tell you something out there waits for you.
He's like, I was kind of keen on dying because I've been alive for a long time and my life really just is pain.
And I lost her.
Oh, he thinks Ciri's dead. That's why he doesn't want to live. Ciri, I'm gonna need you to come back and get your dad, please. And you need to get out of there anyways, otherwise you're gonna die of exposure.
Cora.
At least you know where you are. Yeah, don't need that anymore. But you need to put it over your head because you are very fair. You will burn to a crisp, sis.
And then he hit.
Yikes. Good girl, though. I know I couldn't do it. Does that work? Okay, I don't know if she's still in her world or I'm so confused. Okay, I guess this thing's got a range and you are out of it. Okay, we need to look for what? Who is that? To your right, sis.
Hello?
Oh, hell no. Yeah, that heat stroke gonna get you. Didn't I say to cover your face, girl, with that fair skin? All right, maybe don't use it all up yet. No, Ciri. Isn't honey? Honey is good for burns.
I have to get back to them.
I like that that's her mentality and not that she needs them to save her. Well, guess there's nothing left in there for her.
Should have listened when Masuk tried to teach me constellations.
Oh, the amount of lessons all of us have absolutely ignored throughout our lives. We look back at some point and go, I really probably should have paid attention to that. But then there's actually way more schooling we never use.
Yes.
I mean, you know what? Let me not judge, because if I was that thirsty, I think you get to the point where you put your mouth on almost anything. I think you should keep the jacket, but okay. I guess it just feels heavy at that point, no, even if you're just tugging it along. Oh, no. Oh, no. This is not a real place.
I will not die here.
That's right. Oh, this would be a great time to summon your magic, if you could. Yeah. That's disgusting. But hey, is it cooling at least? Oh, God. Oh, hey, unicorn. Will you let me ride you, please? I know it's really disrespectful, but I'm kind of dying out here. Oh, my gosh. Good reflexes, Ciri. Oh, you were splashing around in that thing's innards, though? I kind of don't blame it for snapping at you. That's kind of disrespectful.
You're a unicorn.
He's like, of course. Are you getting on or no?
Little horse!
I don't know if that's the right direction to be walking in. I guess you weren't going to be able to avoid it anyways. Oh, I don't know if you should eat those, but again, I'm not going to say anything. I can't judge. I've never actually, been starving. Her mother?
And yet, here you are. Abandoned once more.
No, she's not abandoned.
I wasn't abandoned.
Thank you.
Geralt
Cleared
said
it.
he'll find me.
Nothing's ever your fault, is it?
Yeah, you know it's not really your mom, right?
My child are a heavy weight to bear.
Because it's not her.
How relieved Geralt was to see you run into that tower. Perhaps when you get down to it, you are too much
So,
for everyone. Look, you don't
could
know
this be Vigaforce? Maybe he did wake up and he's doing something to her to try to get her to break her connection with Geralt.
I see you, little fucker.
Damn, the lizard was just existing, yo. Okay. I've lost my appetite forever. First of all, eating raw lizard can't be good for you. Second of all, that thing could have been poisonous. And third, If you've gone days without food and water and you just suddenly shove your gut full of stuff, it usually is not a good combination.
Don't eat the lizards. They're poison.
Where am I?
Well, I think she figured that out. You could have told her that before.
Something we have in common. Both insane princesses abandoned by the people who were supposed to protect us, and royal.
Was not abandoned.
It was the system that failed me most. Father was just a spoke in a wheel.
Do you think it'll ever change?
More good.
Well, that can only happen if people make those changes. Plants. Plants are a good sign. Got a tree tap? Ew. Muddy water, but you know what? It's better than whatever the slime was, right? Aw, he's like, I can touch you, but you don't touch me.
I told you about Rose yet. You'd really like her.
I have a feeling you would get along, actually. Both have the same temperament. Well, those guys didn't make it. Terrain's changed, though.
Not real. I know it.
Don't you know where you are? The largest graveyard on the continent.
Your granny lost it.
But your loved ones are falling by the wayside.
Now what have you done to prepare for the coming?
I was going through puberty, actually, and it's pretty hard.
Nothing!
Wow, you are so loud for a dead lady.
You were ruled by hubris and fear, and so instead of helping people, you led into a cycle of violence.
That's right, you tell her about herself. Ooh, ow. You would punch your grandmother? She deserved it. The real and the fake.
Blood and fire.
I've heard that story.
Fitting, since in the end they tied me to a stake.
All right, the town they went to.
The stories say you were a demon. A cursed elven monster.
Yeah,
Stories
and
created
who...
to convince naughty children.
Exactly, I'm like, who wrote those stories? Was it the humans or the elves?
You started a rebellion, but what did you actually want?
I wanted the freedom to feel my rage.
Okay, and that meant everybody else had to die? I don't understand the point, ma'am.
Burn it to the ground.
That's an approach, but do you really want to be responsible for all that bloodshed? It's interesting. She's getting a lot of different options presented to her, different ways, and I feel like this is something that she thinks about a lot, a lot, knowing that she's supposed to be the next leader. She knows that the system's broken, but what's the best way to change it? How do you change it? Is there a way to do it without getting your hands dirty or bloody? But think of how much you've learned. Lizards are poison, giant sandworms whose mouths just hang open in the sun. You can eat bugs. There's oases here and there. I feel like you've done pretty well. Another monster, but I have no weapons. Although technically, Ciri, you can control them. You might have forgotten from last season, but you actually can. Not the unicorn! Did we just use magic, ma'am? On command? Yes, the leaping jump. She said, I'm gonna kill you with your own ugly back meat. I don't even know what that is. Shell? Well done, but I think the unicorn's gone. Yeah. Can you heal? Did Triss teach you any of that? That little piece of cloth?
We have to move to survive.
That little piece of cloth. Here I thought she was going to bring out some healing magic, but I guess one step at a time.
You all right, friend?
No, you don't know. That stinger was probably poison.
Right.
Yeah, look at that wound. It's not getting better. No, it's spreading. It's over. Is that a spell? Because otherwise that's not helpful. That's magic. By who?
By who?
Yennefer said it's dangerous.
For her. Maybe not for you.
Otherwise, this creature, your friend, will die if you don't help him.
And again, it said Aretusa banned it, but did the elves used to use fire magic? They probably have a way of using it, or maybe it's more natural for their bodies, but not for human bodies. I'm not saying she should play with it. I mean, Yennefer's she's also part elven, and the fire almost consumed all of her magic, but she did get it back, so. It's so funny that she's been working at trying to learn all these other magics for so long, and finally, when it comes to shove, push comes to shove, she goes for like the most dangerous one, the most chaotic one. She's like, ooh, now I know what Rian was talking about. Rian's was on to something. Oh no, it is. It's going away. Okay. Okay, Ciri. Oh, he's like, I'm out. You're a problem.
It's a gift. One they either wish to use you for or destroy you for.
Potentially.
Burned me at the stake for it.
It's kind of ironic that they burned you for being a fire mage.
You will change everything.
By turning her into a living pyre? Okay, Daenerys. Been reborn through fire. Queen of Dragons.
Your wrath is righteous.
Why do I feel
Your
like
revenge
this is the mind control spell?
deserve to suffer.
All of this. And this has been her resisting up until this point.
Feel the pleasure of release.
Don't do it. You know these people love you.
Please stop. I relinquish my powers.
Damn, I feel like you weren't supposed to do that.
How can you be sure she's the one?
Have you seen many an ashen-haired, green-eyed whelp on the edge of the desert? You dickless knobhead.
Wow.
No need to be so mean about it. You two pick her up.
Who did she say that to? I still don't know if this is real or what's happening, to be honest. Because it feels like it could be a mind control spell, but her saying relinquish, I don't think that's what they wanted of her.
Equal os. Nagavol ip hetli. Zikduan.
Oh! Hurtful. They're like, he's actually a decent singer, and you know, we're kind of low on entertainment these days. She's like, y'all are not falling in love with this man right now, are you? I'm watching you.
Geralt? You decent?
No, he's dying, actually. She's not lying.
Hey, pal, you're right.
No, he's very not all right. Can you not hear him wheezing?
Oh, Ciri.
Yennefer's fine. She's safe.
Ciri's not.
Ciri's alright. She's alright. She's...
Just missing.
Ciri's missing. Yennefer's hunting for her, but... Nilfgaard, they razed it to the ground.
War, like they said.
The Emperor announced the celebration. She's on her way to Nilfgaard.
Reason to live. I know, your ass is beat, but you're gonna have to fight through this, Geralt. Well, that was a very interesting episode. We focused mostly on Ciri, which is, I don't think we've really done that before, or at least not since probably season 1, actually. But yeah, Ciri, as we know, she purposefully or accidentally woke up the monolith in the last episode, and it looks like it transported her to a different part of the continent. I wasn't sure if she was still in the continent or if she'd gone someplace else, because we know she can go between worlds, but it looks like this one took her to Korath, she called it, and right smack dab in the middle of the desert. So I do think from what I'm seeing that the desert part was real, but all the stuff she was going through was her hallucinations as a result of dehydration and exhaustion and, you know, just generally being very scared and probably disoriented from whatever happened with the monolith. So yeah, we got a lot more insight into Ciri's thinking, what's been going through her mind, you know, since the beginning of the season. She's been very testy, very temperamental, you know, snapping at Geralt, snapping at Yennefer. And I mean, some of it, of course, can be just chalked up to her being a teenager. But now we kind of have a little bit more of the layers to what she's been thinking, what the weight that she's been carrying mentally and emotionally about what it means for her to be the next princess, aka the next queen of basically the continent, because everyone's saying that this is what she's supposed to be, especially considering the power that she has. You know, the elves are looking to her, the humans are looking to her. And she really just all she knows at this point is that the way things are currently are broken. The relationship between humans and elves, the way that the politics are set up, the North versus the South. There's just so many things that are wrong with the world, and it's a lot for one person to think that they can carry or possibly deal with. And it looks like she's just been going through so many scenarios in her head. Like, what was there anything in the past that worked? How many people have tried this? People have tried before and failed. Should she rule the way that her grandmother told her she should rule? Should she rule the way that her mother would expect her to rule? Would her mother be proud of her? That whole scene where she had that vision of her mom and her mom saying that she was a burden, that clearly came from some deep-seated fears that Cirilla must have been carrying around for her whole life, wondering like, why didn't you take me with you on that boat ride unless you thought that it was okay to abandon me? Which obviously I don't think that's what happened, but I can understand that that's how she might have felt. Her grandmother dying because of her stubbornness, her refusal to understand that her disrespect and her looking down on the South could potentially come back tenfold to bite her. And that's exactly what did happen. And in a way, that was like Cirilla being abandoned again, with her having to die in Sintra just to get her out of there, right? So there was just so many things that, Cirilla's been carrying around for a long time, and she's had virtually no time to process a lot of what's happened to her since season 1, since Sintra fell, because it's just been one chaos, one catastrophe, one life altering or life threatening situation after another. So, she's doing her best, but it's a lot. It's really a lot for her to take and deal with. And the only center she's really had through it all since she has really been Geralt. Since she found him, that's kind of been her grounding, her center, and that's allowed her to have a little bit of stability in all the chaos. And the fact that Geralt has never really expected or wanted her to be anything. He just wants her to be able to find her way in all of this craziness to the best of her ability. But it's a lot, and she doesn't really have a lot of people she can turn to for answers, because Geralt, bless his heart, he's always been neutral. That is his mindset. He has every reason to be neutral. He's like, I work for whoever pays. I've lived long enough to realize that one side will think they're right, the other one will think that they're right, both will be wrong. Like, I think for anyone who would have the, I don't know if you want to call it a gift of living for hundreds and hundreds of years, is that you would start to see the patterns in human behavior and how wars are very rarely, actually probably never, beneficial. There's just nothing but sacrifice and suffering, and there's always one side that thinks they're right, but then the other side is wronged, and it's just a cycle. So yeah, there's a lot, and you understand why Geralt feels the way he does. Yennefer has a different idea as well based on her experiences, and then obviously we know that Nilfgaard, she doesn't even know it's her father yet, but he's going to have his own ideas of what it's supposed to be. Redenia had their own ideas, so everyone's just also trying to put onto her what they think she should do too, and it's a lot. It's a lot for a teenager to even begin to comprehend, and a weight that no one person should ever have, truthfully. So it was a good episode to see more of what she's dealing with and the amount of turmoil that she's probably suffering with on a regular basis that she just doesn't even talk to Yennefer and Geralt about, because how can she? She probably feels like as much as they would listen to her and try to empathize, they can't. They can't possibly understand what she's dealing with and the weight of what she's dealing with. So I think it was a really good episode, an interesting way to show her being on her own and really having to deal with all those things while also trying to survive. But again, it also showed us how hardy she is, because, she doesn't look the part. Let's be real. Very, very fair, pretty, thin, princess. She does not look the part of someone who'd be able to survive days in the desert. But she did. She did that. It was her own willpower. It shows her strength of mind too, and her subconscious. And she was aware of the fact that it was her subconscious fighting with her, kept bringing up all these things. And then she was always the one. She'd listen for a bit, but then, she has some core beliefs like the fact that Yennefer and Geralt love her and that they didn't abandon her and they wouldn't abandon her. The fact that, she's not just some power hungry little girl. The fact that she's not a burden to everybody. Like, this is, she just existed. People chose to leave, the ones who did. And so I like that she's really got that fortitude and that strength of mind, because that's not easy to have as a young person. And we see that when she stepped into the fire and was embracing that chaos, for a moment, it felt good. For a moment, all those doubts and the idea of just letting it all burn, quite literally, would be so tempting, especially for her, considering what she went through. But the fact that she also, again, remembered that that wouldn't be the way, because there are people that she loves, and that's not who she is. That's just, if all she wanted was power, she would have leaned into a lot of other things a lot earlier than this, but it's not what she wants. She really just wants balance and peace. And so we heard her say something very scary in this episode where she says, I relinquish my power. And as I said, I don't know, like, that doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound like it's the right thing for someone as powerful as her to say. And again, I don't know how much of it was real, how much was actually people. We know that there was voices in the monolith too. So I don't know. I think there's some more things going on here based outside of what we saw, but I'm just going on what we saw so far. So yeah, I'm scared of her saying those words. But again, if she does show up in Nilfgaard, if that part was real with her being found by those people and she's being taken to Nilfgaard, if she shows up powerless, her dad's not going to be okay with that. That's definitely going to be an issue. So I don't know, it might end up being the thing that she needs. But anyways, outside of that, we had just a little bit of Jaskier with Radovid. I don't really have much to say about that because whatever, like they're still whatever their situation is, on and off, star-crossed lusters. They'll either get it together or they won't. And he gave Radovid a way to get out back to Redenia without, crisscrossing with the Nilfgaard army, because obviously they would kill him. And then he checked in with Yennefer. Yennefer's fine, but she's like, we can't find Ciri. Not sure. She's like, I'm searching for her, but I can't find her. And then we saw a little bit of Geralt. He is in very bad shape. He's been beaten worse than I think he's probably ever been. And yeah, Triss did the best that she could, but apparently it wasn't enough. And now he's just in the Elven village because it's a place where, at least for now, is safe. But even the elves think that he's passing. They don't think he's going to make it. So really, I think it's going to come down to Geralt. He's going to have the will to push through this and survive. We saw he was kind of giving up at the beginning of the episode, but now that he knows that Nilfgaard is on their way to having Ciri, this might give him what he needs to hold on just a little bit longer. But I also have questions because we all know this was the last of Henry Cavill's playing The Witcher. This is it for him after the next episode. He's not coming back to the role, which broke my heart, but it is what it is. So I don't know if maybe this is their way of writing in something to explain why there's going to be a different Witcher next season. Maybe the body we're seeing now is not going to be the same body we see next season, and this is how they're leading up to it. I don't know. But yeah, that's the only thing I'm thinking is possible of why they're doing this. But yeah, interesting episode. Very deep, very layered, a lot of subtext, but also a lot of just emotional work for Ciri. And we'll have to see how she comes out of this now, because she went through it in that desert. And I think she's in a very interesting place now since she said she relinquishes her powers, because that's something that I think has been thinking about for a long time, because these powers have really been the source of all of her issues up until now. Because if she was just a regular old princess, it wouldn't have been this big, but it's because of the power she holds. And that's what everyone keeps bringing up to her. That's really what's caused her all this strife. So yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see if that actually happened or if it's just a mental block that she's thrown up yet again to keep her from accessing what she's capable of doing. But yeah, very interesting episode, guys. I enjoyed it, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching along with me. If you did, please show some love to this video, and I will see you in the next one.